los coños black de mí te tengo grata.
We've been on NFL a lot over the last few weeks, so we're going to slide in a little NBA right here. Go ahead. Take the floor. Take the floor.
Just like Le'Veon Bell owners, what are you doing, Kevin Durant? What are you doing? This offseason, I completely understand you're on this victory parade. You just won the championship. You won the Finals MVP. You proved all your naysayers right, actually, that you went and joined a team that was 73 wins.
He would have been totally fine if he just didn't even say one word this offseason.
Exactly.
But he probably would have been liked by more people if you just didn't even say one word.
I do not understand the shoes, first of all. You proved your doubters and your critics right, that if you join a 73-win team, that you're going to win the finals. If you're a former MVP and you're joining other MVP with 2 other top 15 players,
you probably have a good shot at winning the finals.
You're going to win the finals. I do not understand that. But besides the shoes, the other day he gets into this thing where he always wants to clap back at Twitter followers or Twitter.
Always change your accounts, people.
And he went to do it, but this time he didn't switch accounts and tweeted from his actual account that has like 17 million followers and bashed his former teammates, the Thunder,
Billy Donovan.
And that might be the reason why people call you a snake, Kevin, right? That might be a reason why, my man. I don't understand that. But, Skip Bayless has done it. He's got caught doing the whole switcheroo, trying to have a fake account.
I mean, I'm sure a lot do it. I mean, I don't know. When you got that many followers, I mean, honestly, the best thing is probably to not even read that stuff. Like, their opinions don't mean anything.
The reason why we're rough on you, maybe just me, is because you're the second best player in the world.
Literally.
Why are you
Proved
doing
it,
this?
too. Proved it.
Why are you doing this, man? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, he could have just enjoyed this offseason like Steph.
And
I mean, Steph went and played a golf tournament, caught a couple passes from Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and another thing is he also bashed the one of Steph's biggest money makers, Under Armour, which is your teammate.
Yeah, I don't get the point. I don't know what he's trying to get out of that.
I don't know what he's doing right now, and I can understand that athletes have full right to say anything they want to people that say whatever they want to them. But at the same time, you don't have to do it to every single person. You don't have to, every time someone tweets at you, you don't have to respond. Just respond to the ones that actually deserve to be responded to.
Yeah, honestly, you're just shining light on those people and giving them more attention, which is what they want anyways.
And he's a real person. I completely understand that. And one thing I respect about him 100% is he's came out and owned it. That's one thing he apologized for. I respect you as a man for that. That's something you should do, because if you would have went and did the I got hacked thing, and I'm sure a lot of people have done, but
you gotta own it like Draymond Green on Snapchat.
Yeah, just I guess you took it from Draymond. We're not gonna get into that one, but but I respect that he did that. But this offseason, I'm just not really sure what he's doing, man. And just like,
I mean, I'm sure the relationship will end up being fine. I mean, everything, as long as they stay healthy, they're going to bring home another ship, it sure looks like. But, yeah, I mean, if anything, he could cause more turmoil with his own team. And, like, I mean, I don't get his point of doing any of this.
I don't understand either. And really, the main thing that I'm trying to get away from or get from it is he's the second best player in the world.
Yeah, and he did an awesome thing this offseason by taking less money, too, so they can keep the majority of the other players with him. So, I mean, I like the guy, but, yeah, I mean, some of the stuff you're saying just doesn't need to be said.
Yeah, and back to my point is that he's the second best player in the world, and he just won a championship that he's been obviously winning, and he just won Finals MVP against the best player in the world and the top 3 player of all time, and LeBron James. I don't understand why it's now that he wants to do this.
I think winning. I think he feels like, gotta feel like he's on top of the world right now.
Yeah,
And he beat LeBron James too.
I can understand.
I know
that.
it wasn't exactly the fairest matchup, but it's the finals, and that's the team you're up against.
Yeah.
And that finals team had LeBron, who we both, I'm sure, still consider the best player in the world.
Absolutely.
So I think it's part of that. He feels on top of the world.
I can understand that. You make a good point there. But another player I don't really understand what he's doing right now is Kyrie Irving. Listen, I totally understand if you want to be the man and you want to lead your own team and you think it's right and you want to see if you can do it, if you can be one of the all-time greats and lead the team to a championship. Completely understand that. I wouldn't do it right now if I was him because you have LeBron James in his prime and someone that you can learn from for the next 2 years maybe, I guess. And he'd still be 27, I think, 26.
Still would have years to go and do his own thing.
Technically, he's entering his prime right now, so you'd still have prime years left. I don't really understand that, and what I really don't understand is his first take interview. That was just really weird and odd to me. Is like, I could tell you guys were friends, LeBron and Kyrie. You said all the right things in the Eastern Conference Finals press conferences. You were talking about how much you loved him and how he's a big brother to you and how you get to learn from a player like that. And then now he's saying that nothing was wrong. He just wanted to leave, but he doesn't care that LeBron will take it personal that he didn't tell LeBron that he wanted to leave. It just makes me question if something really happened or not.
Yeah,
there had to be a reason.
It seemed like something happened there. His new teammates got to realize that, he's just a savage.
Yeah, listen, his mentor is Kobe Bryant. That's ultimately the reason why I think he left is because I'm sure Kobe was telling him, like, hey, you could be one of the greatest players ever, talking him up. Which he should be.
He's really good. I think he's going to learn that it's hard. It's
going
to be a lot harder for him.
And
he's not a KD leaving for a 73 win team.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he got bothered by if they won, it was LeBron.
Oh, I would too. I read something that he wanted to talk more about, like just issues with the stuff that Kaepernick talks about and stood for. And he just never had a platform to do it because, any media days or anybody that goes to the locker room, they all gather around LeBron.
Yeah, and listen, they also built a team around LeBron, which of course you're going to do because it's LeBron James. And apparently that could have an effect on his decision.
I'm sure it's a combination of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure him knowing how good he is, too, he probably wants to be able to do that with his own team.
Yeah.
He probably sat and watched how LeBron literally constructed the whole team himself.
Yeah,
got coaches fired.
I don't question that at all. I'm just questioning the timing and the way he's handling it. Really.
Yeah, I think he took for granted a little much about being able to go to the finals every single year. And if he thinks it's going to be easy, and there's no doubt he can do it. He's that talented of a player, but I think he's going to realize it's not as easy as he may think it is.
And let's not forget, whenever he was just by himself, he was young and the team was terrible. They didn't even make the playoffs.
Oh, no. He has a good team around him with the Celtics. The Celtics do have a very good team, but
I think it went to the best situation for him.
Yeah, it was an awesome situation, but I think he's going to learn that it is not as easy as he's thinking, and he's going to have to go through LeBron to make them finals.
That's another reason why I don't understand the first take interview is because you're kind of egging him on a little bit. You're kind of
there's LeBron. And then there's LeBron with a little added motivation.
Then there's Game 6, Celtics LeBron.
Yeah, you don't want to add more motivation to LeBron.
Exactly, and he's done it to Steph, the 2015.
Where he blocked him in the game that stared down. I can't wait for that to happen because it's going to happen.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Unless Kyrie's smart enough to not drive to the rim ever.
And
even if he thinks he's got a wide open layup, he better just pull up a three.
And that's what I just mainly got from the first take interview is... What was his intentions of the interview? Because it seemed like he didn't want to answer the questions.
Yeah, I don't know why he accepted to go on there.
Yeah, and also whenever they asked him about LeBron, he acted like no one should that it shouldn't be a big deal that he didn't tell LeBron, which it shouldn't.
You don't have to. He's his own man. I mean,
but at the same time,
I think just out of respect for. Yeah. Arguably, I'd still put him as probably the second grade. I don't know. You can argue a bunch of stuff. At least a top 5 player of all time.
And whenever he did that, like, I can understand, like, you don't owe him anything to tell him or anything like that. But when people say, well, what's the reason why you wanted to leave, and why are you acting like, why wouldn't you tell the person that you're saying was your big brother like 2 or 3 months ago? You know, and whenever someone asked him that question, when Max asked him that question on First Take, he got offended, and not so much offended. He didn't partake to the question very well, and he didn't want to answer the question. But it's a pretty reasonable question to ask.
Yeah, I mean, very good question. I mean, yeah.
We just wanted to know if there's something wrong or there's something caused it to happen.
I mean, you came on the show. You
Yeah.
should have expected to be asked those questions. I mean,
and maybe there really wasn't anything, but the way that he was answering the other questions made me question if there was something going on. You know?
To me, it seems like there is, but honestly, it all builds up to what should be a fun NBA
and
season. I believe
NBA
don't they play each other on
I think
the first
opening
game
day,
of the
yeah.
season? Oh God, I can't wait for
Oh,
that.
it's gonna be great. Without Isaiah Thomas, we're assuming though, so that should be
Yeah, but still, I mean, I'm gonna be looking for that LeBron Kyrie eye contact. I want to see just pregame if they dap each other up or not.
And if Kyrie keeps handling it like this, I
I
don't think
guess
it's
not.
Yeah,
I guess not.
But that's gonna finish the 5th episode.
Yes, we are number 5 this time.
We've
had one for each of the 5 viewers that watch it.
Listen, we're trying to go up next week, episode 6. We're going to try to go up to 6 viewers.
We're trying to step our game up. We're trying to add one more person.
7 to 7, 8 8. You know,
Yeah,
eventually when we get to 1,000, we're gonna have 1,000 of them.
Yeah, we hope so. Otherwise, it's a lot of terrible shows.
Or maybe we're losing followers. You know?
Either way, appreciate everybody that listens as we do each time. Shout out our mom.
Shout out our moms, you know.
And then also shout out David Miller because he actually does watch these things. And I'm sorry about hating on your 49ers.
Hey, I don't think I hated it, did I?
I mean, we
I love Carlos
did,
Hyde,
but-
I did. I love Carlos Hyde.
You gave more love than I did towards
Yeah,
him.
I'm sure. I mean, I bashed your Bengals for probably.
Yeah, that limb that I jumped out on, let me just say, it's broke. But on that note, appreciate
you
y'all
guys.
listening. Like, subscribe, comment. Peace.